Hello, I'm Rachel from Douentza Garden in Ireland on this blustery day. If you're new to the channel, then very welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, even more welcome. Now today I'm going to do a little job here in the garden. I'm going to replace a hydrangea with a camellia. The other way around, camellia with a hydrangea. So that's my camellia over there. And I'm going to put in its stead this glorious little paniculata hydrangea that doesn't get very tall at all. I'll tell you why, and I'll show you how I do it. So stay tuned and let's get on with the video. Now, before I get into digging up this plant, just a little word for anyone who's new to the channel. I garden in what roughly equates to as zone 9. Now in Ireland we don't use the American system of zones, but my climate in terms of hardiness roughly equates to hardiness zone 9. And today I am going to replace the camellia over there with a hydrangea. Now this isn't just any camellia. This is a camellia that I grew from seed, and it is Camellia sinensis. So the camellia that is used in the making of black tea, which we all love and drink in copious amounts here in Ireland. And I grew this plant. I have 3 of them actually in the garden. It has done well. It has never flowered, and mostly the verdict is that it's a novelty plant rather than something of beauty that I actually want in the garden. Now I've seen these plants in flower before when I visited the Azores and the tea plantations there, and the flowers are pretty, but I'm waiting a hell of a long time for mine, and I am basically fed up. And now I want to replace this camellia in this spot with something that just gives more flower, more punch for my money. And the thing I'm going to replace it with is this beautiful little hydrangea here. Now this hydrangea is called Polestar. I don't think it's actually registered but as that name, but it is a beautiful one that doesn't get very tall. So it will get to a maximum of 50-60 centimeters in height, which is just perfect for that spot there, because that spot there is between a Stipa gigantea and a bamboo, and I really don't want a tall bush jammed in between them. I want something a little bit lower than the height of the camellia that's there already, that's going to flower and flower for a very long time. I could have used a perennial of some sort, but in fact it was quite fortuitous because somebody gifted me this hydrangea, and when I looked into it I thought, well, that just perfectly fits the bill. So thank you, Peter. Okay, well, I guess the first thing we need to do here is to have a go at getting this camellia out of the ground. I've no idea how easy or how hard it is going to be. These things are always hard, aren't they? So I guess without much further ado, let's get the fork and let's find the root and let's get on with it. Now, whenever I make a video about digging up a plant and replacing it with something else, I always get people who are very sentimental and think that plants just should not be disposed of. And that is not my opinion at all. If a plant isn't working for you and it's not working for your garden, then you need to replace it with something that is. And that's definitely the case here with this camellia. So yes, I did feel a bit sentimental for a while because I had raised it from seed, but the time has come for it to go to the great compost heap in the sky. Okay, that seems to be giving, and I think well, some of the roots have given, but not all of them. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Okay, so you can see it has quite large roots that have broken. So there's going to be bits of the roots still in the ground. I'm not quite sure if it would be the same with all camellias. To tell the truth, I've never gotten rid of a camellia before. This is kind of a special case, but it wasn't too hard to get up at all. So yeah, now let's see the area that's left. So now let's just excavate this hole a little bit and see what it's like. Well, you know what, these roots, there's not a whole lot to them. Look at them. So I think there'll be no problem with this thing regrowing. Nice soil. So I'm now going to remove this hydrangea from the pot, and this is a paniculata hydrangea, so not the macrophylla. The macrophylla are the ones that change colour depending on the acidity of the soil. I do have acidic soil, but the paniculata ones are usually white. This one is a pinky colour, which will go beautifully with the Francoa you see behind me. And yeah, and anyway, it won't change colour. So in it goes to the hole, just removing any stones. Let's take the label off, because I always think it's so ugly to see labels on plants in a garden. It just spoils the whole look of things. Also, if you have garden visitors, do you know what they do? They go in to have a look at the label to see what it says, and they usually trample on a few things on the way, so that's not good. Okay, so there's the label off. There's the hydrangea being planted to the same depth as in the pot. Now this hydrangea is generally sold as one that can be grown in a pot, kept in a pot, because it stays small. And I don't want to do that. I want it to be here and to stay small. And I suppose it'll come up to about this height eventually in time and width, which is grand for the position it's here in between the bamboo and the grass. So we will just backfill the soil here. Bits of camellia, and don't worry, I have 2 more Camellia sinensis in the garden, so I won't be without my cup of tea. Just press down, and the roots were very fine, not very congested, so they didn't need to be, you know, eased out at all. I don't think this is a pot-bound plant, and that's pretty much it, except for a really, really good watering in. So now I've replaced Camellia sinensis, the camellia bush responsible for tea, with a hydrangea that is very much smaller, but in time it will get to the required height and look fantastic against the Francoa and other pink things I have here in the border. So I guess look out for this one, Polestar. If it does what it's supposed to do in terms of keeping small over a long time, I will be sure to let you know. And if it doesn't, I will also be sure to let you know. Thank you very much for watching this very short video, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!